Hello my beautiful lovelies, and welcome back to another pick a card reading. I'm super excited about this reading. We are going to be having messages from our spirit guides on what they would like us to know moving forward through this transition phase. Now, this month has really been about releasing old and negative energies. If you have been guided to this video through your guides, you may have been going through a rough patch this month. Now, this may include personal challenges, financial issues. You may have struggled with conflicts, confrontations, decision-making, opportunities. For some of you, your emotions would have been hectic and all over the place, while for others, you may have just been stuck on one type of emotion, whether that was sadness, loneliness, frustration, or anger. And now you are being encouraged on what you really need to release so that you can come through this transformation and enter the new you. As we are leaving March and coming into April, this is the transition that you will be doing, okay? So with that, I do want to start with a collective reading. If you are drawn to this collective reading, then continue watching. If you are not, then feel free to skip ahead to the pick a card choosing timestamp, which is down below, and then again skip ahead to your particular reading. Now, for those of you who are staying for this collective reading, let's just get stuck into it. This one is going to be on the quick side. Okay, so we have 3 cards. Okay, didn't even realize. I thought I had drawn 2, but that's okay. So up here, this is your biggest block, and this is going to talk about your chakras, all right? So we have peace, and this is your soul chakra. And then we're going to go over here with your challenges, which is release. Endings that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situations or people that hold you back, spiritual transformation. Wow, I was just talking about what this is about. Okay, and then we have transformation, a significant life experience that requires change to be made, powerful and often unexpected revelations, breaking free of procrastination, releasing old belief systems. Wow, okay. So for a lot of you, you are stuck in this transformation phase, or you're stuck in this where you are just drifting, okay? You are stuck in this phase of just being, and you haven't transitioned into the doing or the applying, and instead you're procrastinating a healing aspect. There is something deep within you that you are blocking yourself from either feeling or remembering. And this is the last little hurdle that you need to overcome everything that you've worked towards. Overcome this last challenge by facing whatever it is you're hiding from. You are reaching a level of peace, a soul peace and a harmony within that you haven't discovered yet in this lifetime or others. And you are undergoing a powerful transformation that means a lot of your past behaviors, attitudes, mindsets, and belief systems are going to change. Now, this can be extremely scary and unnerving, and some of us can be quite uncertain about it and even hesitate on it. However, this transformation is required of you to continue moving forward, okay? When you are stuck and you're trapped in this not healing but kind of healed type of phase that you are in, you're not actually reaching a level of peace that your soul is after. Instead, you are trapped in a cycle that brings up trauma, brings up triggers. You have the same or similar confrontations and arguments with other people. You meet similar people with similar qualities that you may butt heads because the universe is going, okay, so you ignored that lesson. Let's try again with this person, okay? So this is what is happening in your life. So if you feel like you're on a constant roundabout where it's just repeating the same old, your spirit guides are trying to let you know that you cannot move forward until you learn this lesson, and you cannot completely heal until you face this deep buried trauma, okay? When you are releasing as well, when you are releasing all the old that you have shed, you have to let it go. And if you are hanging on to it, or if you're still pulling into certain behaviors that you know you need to leave behind you, this means the ending isn't complete and it can't go underway. So you're not starting a new beginning. So for some of you, you may be chasing a dream or a goal or desire, but you're not letting go of the old to be able to step into this new phase. And unfortunately, Spirit, they're very clear with we have to end a cycle and we have to have an ending to be able to cycle in a new fresh beginning and a fresh start. They're very clear on that. So if you are really wanting to chase this goal or this dream that you have, it is there for you. However, Spirit would like you to know that you need to release and let go of the old and to bring in new mindsets and beliefs and behaviors, okay, before you can move forward. There's going to be a lot of revelations about how you felt, what you did, the choices you made, and you're going to be playing connect the dots a lot in your life this month. And this is you understanding how your choices affected your today, okay? So what you chose to do a year, 2 years, 3 years ago has led you to where you are today. It's time for you to release all the negative beliefs you have about yourself, to stop looking back on your choices as if it was mistakes or regrets, and instead embrace all of this and understand that you made the best decisions for you at that time with what you knew. And it helped you to grow and understand and evolve, and it helps you to lead towards more love and happiness and abundance and joy. For some of you as well, you get stuck on the dark times or the bad days, and you get stuck to it. You cling yourself to it, and that is what you define your day or your happiness by. Spirit would like you to know that life is full of cycles and lessons. If you view your life as seasons, so you have your summer period, you have the period where you can harvest everything you've planted, you can pull all your crops, and you can see your efforts come to life through abundance and growth. While in autumn, that's when you're doing your releasing, that's when you're shedding all your leaves, you're replacing the old with new, you're letting it all go, and you're cycling out the old and making way for new. While winter seems to be the freezing period, and it can be cold, it can be isolating, it can be lonely, it can be upsetting, you can have a lot of challenges during this winter phase. The autumn and winter phases can be quite challenging. And then you come into spring, and that's when you start fresh. You get a burst of new energy. You're motivated, you're inspired, you're ready, you're on the way to summer. And you know exactly what you need to plant to be able to harvest during your summer period. This is your period of growth. So right now, see what season you're in. And seasons can happen rapidly. It can happen within a month. It could happen in a few months. You could have multiple seasons every week. Just view your life as a season so you can better understand that it is temporary. It is going to end, and it's not always going to be cold and lonely, and you're not always going to have bad days. There will be good days. There's happiness. There is a balance and a need for you to find that peace and harmony within you to know that it is only temporary, and the season will end and it will start new, and you will cycle in new lessons and challenges, and you can get excited again. You don't have to feel down about where your life is at in that moment, and you don't have to hesitate on knowing that it will get better, because you'll know. You'll just know with this peace that you are growing and coming into. And then moving down, we've got Date with Destiny. And then we have Princess Victorious. And we also have Circus of Love. Okay, so with these three cards here, Spirit would like you to know that this is part of your destiny, that the time you're experiencing now is important for your growth in the future. This is for your ultimate ending, your goal, that this is for your higher purpose. This is your destiny, it's your birthright. However, to get there, you need to understand that there is a time for transformation and release, that you have to let go of the old to cycle in the new, that you have to go through so many experiences to get to that goal of yours and that dream. With Princess Victorious, know that you will be successful. You'll be victorious. It is there. It is part of your destiny. However, Spirit are asking you now to look at the bigger picture, to step away and get out of your mind and the feeling of abandonment, loss, scarcity, confusion, lack, all of these negative emotions. They're wanting you to step back and instead view it as an important process towards your destiny. To remember that whatever seems to be an obstacle or a challenge or even a loss or a failure, it's actually just a twist in your life, okay? It's just another lesson for you, an opportunity for you to grow according to your higher self's plan. And then with the Circus of Love, you're being asked to open back up to love in all forms, in all ways, to be silly, to be playful, to be joyous, to just love those around you, to receive love, to know your love, to know that Spirit love you unconditionally, that everyone is there in support of you, that everyone loves you and you too can love yourself. There's a need to accept what is, and also for some of you, a need to ground yourself through your root chakra and to work on your sense of safety and security. For some of you, you're holding back some secrets that may feel embarrassing or dark or twisted, or you just may feel ashamed of yourself as well. You are also working through these emotions and feelings so that you can replace it with more positive and uplifting ones, so that you can find a peace within and you're not battling with yourself anymore. Well, guys, I really hope you liked that collective reading. Please let me know how you felt about it down in comments below, and I'll see you at your pick-a-pile choosing, okay? Thank you. Bye. Hey guys, here are the piles for you to choose from today. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I do have a new layout at the moment that I am playing around with just to see if I can make my videos just a little bit better, but I am filming a little bit blind today, so we're going to see how it goes and just hope for the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a moment to choose your piles. Awesome, now let's get stuck to it. Hi pile number 1, and welcome to your pick a card reading today. So these are messages that your spirit guides would like you to know to get out of this little rut, or to help push you forward and motivate you, so that you can kind of understand what may be your blockages and what may be the last part of your healing journey for this current situation. So we're going to start with your challenges and obstacles, and then we'll move on to your strengths and your weaknesses. Yeah? Sound good? Cool. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. I hope that's in the screen. Like I said just a little bit before, I am trying out a new filming angle and a little bit of a different technique to see how it works and how it goes. So, hey, trial and error. Let's just hope for the best. Okay, so we have 5 of Swords, an unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or have questionable motives. And we also have King of Water. Trustworthy, honorable, devoted, and cautious. Someone you can completely trust. A situation that is safe. A solid romantic relationship. Hidden but well-intentioned emotions. A charitable benefactor, and seeing a counselor. Okay, right. I'm just going to jump straight into the deep end with some of these messages. For some of you, I believe you're ignoring some mental illness, okay? This may be in the way of depression, anxiety, Some of you may experience OCD tendencies, while others may have a personality disorder or something like dissociative disorder maybe. But I'm hearing that a lot of you may be ignoring something that your body is telling you you may need professional help. I'm not going to tell you what you do and should do, but for some of you, and this may ring true just for one, and if it does, I am thinking of you, I am sending you all my love, but it may be time for you to visit a doctor, okay? It may be time for you to actually seek professional external help to help you through some of the murky waters, because although you have got yourself this far, and well done to you, I just want to praise you for this, you may need someone who's a little bit more experienced and has the right tools and techniques for you to overcome this last hurdle. Yeah. Okay. So, Spirit, some of you like to hang around some friends that do not really help your growth. Some of you I'm gonna just be honest, let's just cut straight to the point, let's just be realistic. Guys, some of you like to gossip, and that's all you actually have. That's how you connect with others, is by either feeling on top of others or putting other people down. You may have a tendency of wishing ill on others, or just comparing your situation with another's and then kind of beating yourself up about it, which isn't healthy at all. That's not okay, and it's not going to benefit you in a positive way. It's not going to motivate you to do better or to chase better for you. A lot of you like to talk. This is the biggest block for a lot of you, is that you talk. You seek out so many people's opinions and advice, and that you should really only rely on one person that you trust wholeheartedly has your best interest. For some of you, this may be your mother or your father, a sister or a brother, a really close friend, or even your partner. There is one person that you need to start relying on, okay? You cannot keep seeking out so many different opinions or advice, because you're overwhelming yourself, you're confusing yourself. And then the person who has some really solid information, knowledge, and wisdom to share with you, you may be ignoring them the most. Now, this is because a lot of the time they call you out on your They like to tell you how it is. They're pretty blunt, they're pretty straightforward, but they want to see you shine. They want to see you rise and to glow and to spread your light and do what you love and do what you came here to do, and to be proud and to be successful. They want to see you succeed, okay? So you can trust this person. Although some of their opinions may not align with yourself, or they may not always agree with you, and they may actually challenge you on a lot of things, but this is because they're someone who encourages you to be better. They don't want you to stay in a situation that doesn't benefit you, or that doesn't uplift you and bring you closer to peace and harmony. Really listen to them and take their messages on board, and try and avoid gossiping over the next 2 weeks. There's also, for a couple of you, with your decisions, your opportunities that you are facing right now, there is a better way. If you feel like you're cornered or you're trapped, or you can't have it your way, or it won't go the way that makes you happiest, it will. So ask yourself honestly, what will make you happy? What in this situation will make you happy? Is it for you to turn around and just say no? Are you needing to go and seek someone professional to give you legal advice moving forward? Is this to do with a contract, buying a home? Is this to do with friendship, study, whatever it may be for you? You will be happy if you figure out what it is that your heart truly desires, and what will help your emotional stability as well. Another block for my pile ones is that your emotions actually have messages. So when you get frustrated or angry or upset with someone, this is for something very valid, and it's seeking out your attention. It's seeking out for you to acknowledge where this stems from, because there is some healing that needs to be done, or there is some personal boundaries that you need to set up between yourself and another person. Your emotions aren't always there to upset you or overwhelm you. Sometimes they're there to actually teach you or to highlight areas of your life that aren't working. So reevaluate your emotions and see the messages that it's trying to give you. Awesome. I'm going to now move on to your strengths and then do your weaknesses. So we have the juggler. This is a cool strength. And we also have personal power. All right, guys. So you are really good at handling a lot of your responsibilities. A lot of the time, life will throw challenge after challenge, hurdle after hurdle, obstacles and more. They will give you the karma, they will give a heavy dose of the bad and the good all at once, and you are so capable at juggling it all. You're someone who can be flexible. You're someone who can be a mum and go to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You're someone who can do it all. You're someone who can have time alone at home while socializing. You can prioritize others while also putting yourself first. You're all over the place, and this is a strength of yours because you were born to be able to handle it all. Now, this does have a little bit of a downfall for some of you. You may then put the expectation on others that so should they. However, you have to remember they weren't born with this gift. They weren't given this strength this lifetime. So have a little bit more patience and understanding when it comes to others. Your personal power, you can say no when you want to say no. But a lot of the time when you're offered, like for example, I'm just being shown, I don't know why this is coming, but you know, some of you may go, I'm going to go on a diet. And then your friend comes along and is like, oh, should we have some takeaway? Should we get some lollies? And you're like, hell yeah, let's do it. So although you have your personal power, a lot of the time you can be persuaded, especially if you're not truly committed or in it wholeheartedly. As well with your personal power, sometimes you can come across as aggressive or angry a lot of the time, but this is just because you're sure of yourself and that you'll defend yourself and your loved ones to the end. You're a fighter as well. You're a defender. You're a fighter. You can take care of your family, and more than likely, part one, you are an amazing mother or father. You're meant to have children and to also teach them how to have their own personal power when it comes to toxic people, because you would have had a lot of experience to be able to gain this strength this lifetime. Although with the juggler card, this is a strength, and it's absolutely beautiful. Some of you go over the top and tend to put too much on your plate and try and juggle it all. You lash out at your loved ones who are around you. Just be mindful that you do have a breaking point and you're not meant to carry it all on your shoulders and do it all. Although that this is your strength and this is a skill of yours, you shouldn't feel expected to carry the whole weight of the home and the world on your shoulders. That's not your job. With the personal power, you know when to say no, and you should know when to say yes as well. When your heart is glowing with pride and love and screaming at you, yes, yes, let's do it, you are meant to say yes. You don't need to hesitate and be like, I wonder what so-and-so will think, or what if that's not a good idea? If you are glowing over it, it's the best idea and option for you. Part one, you're also the backbone of your family. You're the glue. You're the strength. Everyone around you relies on you to carry them out of any situation. They rely on you to help them juggle it all, to help them realign their lives and get everything into order. You're someone who would take the lead in the home. So you're someone who would take over finances, the cleaning, the organization. You'll have it all under control, and they will love this about you. Your family and your partners, they will admire the way you can just handle it all, that you can just focus so clearly on one issue and fix it. if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And now over here with the weaknesses, we have this Supernova. This was my card of the day this week. And we also have Mother Earth. So with Supernova, one of your weaknesses is not recognizing when something needs to be unleashed. When you yourself with your personal power need to assert yourself and tell someone how it is, not sugarcoat it, not put little dazzles all over your story to make them feel better, but you need to learn how to be brutally honest, to let the beast out, to shine your light. You're encouraged to do this with love, to do this for the benefit of the other person as well as yourself. That there are times that you may keep quiet when you really need to speak up. That there are times that you dim your light for the benefit of those around you who may not have a lot of things in their life or may not be truly happy. So you hide that happiness and you dim your light so that they don't feel worse or bad, okay? You're really asked to step into your full power, to know when it's time for you to speak up and to be honest. Another weakness is that you do not spend enough time out in nature, that you don't allow nature to ground you, to keep you calm, to show you the beauty and the magic and the safety and security that it can offer you. If you're someone who works indoors a lot of the time or pretty much all the time, you're being asked to step back outside, to reconnect and ground yourself, to spend genuine quality time with Mother Earth. A lot of the time, our lives can get busy and chaotic, which with the juggler, your life does. And that's just how you ask things to be this lifetime. However, with this Mother Earth card, you truly are being asked to slow down sometimes, to give yourself a day or 2 days every week, or even just an hour every week, to sit outside in silence and meditate, to connect, to ground, to enjoy living and not be constantly thinking about the next thing on your to-do list or the next job for you to do. Allow yourself to shine your light and to feel safe when doing so. That's a lot of the time the things you are meant to say or wish you could say is exactly what the other person needs to hear. A lot of the time you also may take it out on the wrong person. Now, I think this is for a particular 1 or 2 people where you'll be feeling a certain way and you'll just fire that at the person closest to you. However, the way you were feeling was actually caused by someone else or a different situation altogether. This is something you may need to recognize. Wow. So pile number 1, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to also be drawing a card from my Surrender deck and just see what other messages Spirit may have for you. So for pile number 1, there we go. Surrender stubbornness. That is so funny because I was just thinking about the personal power, how your personal power is really, really great. However, it can swing on the stubbornness because I was seeing or thinking about Tauruses and bulls for some reason. But yeah, here we've got surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate with love more lovingly with others and yourself. Wow, guys. I really hope that this reading resonated for you guys and that it gave you all the messages that you needed to hear moving forward. I do have a funny feeling I've got another card. Oh my God. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. It was just slowly sliding off the deck. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. that is. Some of you may have just ignored that nature message altogether, so that card was just kind of sliding off. And I mean, with stubbornness, it's your choice. You've got free will. It's up to you how you want to experience your life. But I really hope that this has given you some idea or indication of what you may need to be doing. And yeah, I wish you all the best during this transformation. Thank you for joining me. Love and light. Bye. Hi, pile number 2, and welcome to your pick a card reading today. These are the messages from your spirit guides about the blockages that you need to be made aware of moving forward through this transition period. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with your obstacles and your challenges, and then we're going to move on to strengths, weaknesses, okay? So we have the dreamer. A new start, trust yourself, push your fears aside and take a leap of faith. And we also have the lovers. Embrace true love and deep, intimate friendships. Make choices from the heart, vibrant health, or recovery from an illness. Okay, pile number 2. A lot of you are stuck up in your head and a little bit too dreamy at the moment. You may have a lot of ideas, goals, ambitions. You may be in a little bit of a la-la land type of period where you're dreaming about what you wish you had and where you want to go. However, you're not making the steps towards this dream, and you're also not doing the planning that is needed first. Some of you are too stuck in your fears, and you may get trapped in the cycle within your mind where you play out a lot of your fears and worst case scenarios, and this adds no value to your life, and this isn't actually helping you in a positive direction. Instead, it's actually preventing you from moving forward. So just be more aware of where your mind tends to go, whether it's in the more negative or the more positive side of things. Pile number 2, for some of you, I think this message is directly to a couple of you. You need to build in your self-love and your faith and trust within yourself. I feel like crying right now. You may have let yourself down in the past, and you may have made decisions that hurt you in the end, and that you should have seen some red flags or the signs that maybe a person wasn't who they were telling you they were, or you should have seen that some of their actions didn't match what they were saying. And now this is okay. You need to release this. You do not need to fear the next person that you give your heart to. You do not need to close off to love and vulnerability. Allow yourself to take this healing process slowly, because I do believe that if you chose this pile, a big factor in your blockages is either a recent heartbreak or a major significant heartbreak that you had in your life. Now, for some of you, you may go, oh, I don't even care about them anymore. I'm not even thinking about them. However, there may be some feelings or trauma that you may have experienced that could have been physical, emotional, or mental abuse. This could be aligned with cheating, where they cheated on you, and you may have insecurity or self-love issues that you need to deal with. For others, this may be that you just were let down by them, and that they talked a big talk, but they proved they couldn't walk the walk. Did that make sense? I don't know why I said it that way, but hey, let's go with it. While for others, you may be stuck in this single life that you're just so completely happy on your own that you do not give the chance or opportunity for anybody to come into it, and that you close yourself off when spirit go, hey, I think this person would be a really good person for you, but you completely close them off and you do not give them a second look, and you automatically say no before even giving them a chance. Recognize that maybe the person you're looking at or longing for or chasing after, they may not be your person. And while you're so focused on this other person, there's another one who is absolutely perfect, who's waiting for you, who's staring at you, but watching you watch them, okay? So just recognize that maybe who you truly love, who you love or think you love isn't your true love. For others, I do believe that you may be in a toxic relationship, or you may be in a relationship that is slowly ending and you don't know what to do. And you're trying to gain back control, and you're trying to understand and process this, and you're not coping or understanding this. Spirit would like you to know that this is actually to help you move forward in your life. That maybe the person you're with wasn't actually going to give you the family or the support that you need in your challenges that are coming up. For others, it may just be that they weren't invested wholeheartedly, and eventually it would have led to worse heartbreak. So letting go now may be the kindest thing on both of you. For others, you may be in a really loving relationship, but some of your behaviors is preventing the relationship to grow and blossom. And now this may be for you, or it may be for them. So whatever that feels right, really reassess the way you guys communicate, the way that you share your vulnerability, and how you're honest with one another. And if you're actually honest, how do arguments start? Where do they come from? Challenge yourself to discover the little cracks within the relationship. It's not to say that it's not perfect. It's also not to say that it should be thrown out the window just like that. It's trying to challenge you on making the relationship stronger, to build on the connection, and to be sure within one another that you both are working together to make the relationship work. It cannot be one-sided. And with the Lovers card, it really needs to be a joint connection and decision. This may also be talking about friendships and reaching out and making connections again with others. Whatever this may be, whether it's actually a relationship or whether this is a friendship that they're talking about, you need to start making choices from the heart. You need to ask your heart, are you doing okay? Is this working for us? Does this relationship or friendship make us happy? Are we putting in so much energy and getting nothing back? Are they putting in a lot of energy and I'm not giving anything back? Challenge yourself on this so that you can see it from a higher perspective and overcome this obstacle that you are faced with. And I do just want to mention that for pile number 2, some of you have just recovered or overcome an illness. Take it easy on yourself, or you've been diagnosed with something. Please take it easy on yourself. Be kind with yourself. Allow others to come in and take care of you. Just throw your pride and ego out the window and really allow yourself to just be loved on and taken care of. This is a time for you right now. You need to take the rest, and you really do need to work on your health so that you are strong in the upcoming years. You want to put your health and your well-being first right now, okay? So say no to everyone who is demanding too much of you. Okay, now let's move on to our strengths, eh? So we have raw, rare, real. Well, I said that in the wrong order, but hey... I saw raw first, but rare, raw, real. I love that card. And we have divine wisdom. Guys, pile number 2, your strength is being you. You know who you are to the core. You are so raw and real that sometimes it hurts you with vulnerability, showing people how vulnerable you truly are and how emotional you can be. But you can't fake it. You're not someone who can fake things or pretend to be someone that you're not. And if you find yourself pretending, it eventually fizzles out because you just can't keep up and it doesn't make you happy, so you end up walking away from the situation. Your strength is being honest with yourself, being real with yourself. And if a friendship or relationship isn't working for you, or a belief system, behavior pattern, whatever is not working for you, be honest and real with yourself right now. You're someone who can stand in front of a mirror completely naked and accept every part of your body. And doesn't mean that you like every part of it, but that is you. and you can't change it. You're probably not someone who's going to rush off and go and get loads and loads of Botox and surgery, but rather you will come to an acceptance. And this is a gift of yours. This is something so pure that I'm just blown away by this type of energy. You guys are just the most purest souls on this planet. You're not here to fake. You're not here to lie and manipulate. And if you find yourself doing that, you're very quick to correct it or to change it. You'll also pull on a lot of wisdom that comes from your ancestors and that comes from spirit. You're someone who likes to dream and get a lot of downloaded information that way from spirit. But someone else in particular reads a lot of books or does a lot of research. This is how you learn and understand. Reading and seeing for you is how you gain wisdom. Not so much with the experience. I mean, you can read a book and it's all about someone's wild life and decisions. You'll read the book and you'll just go, I'm not going to do that because I know how it's going to end. Or you're someone who will watch a horror film and watch all these people run towards the scary noise, and you'll be like, I'm not going to do that. My ass is going to run away. You're someone who can pull on experiences from absolutely everyone and learn right from wrong that way, or what to do in that sense. You should be proud of this and own this because it's a very unique gift of yours and it is very special just for you. When you're lost or confused, you can always go within you and seek that inner wisdom. You can easily connect with spirit on the yes or no's, or even to attune with your body and ask your own body what it needs or what decision is best suited for it. I'm seeing, like, for some of you, if you were to stand in a dark room and shine a light on you, and you were asked by spirit to be completely honest, knowing full well that they can see right through any illusion, that they can sniff out any little bit of lies or manipulating, what it is truly in your heart that you know you need to do moving forward. The decision that you are avoiding, or the feelings you don't want to confront, or whatever it is that is bubbling beneath the surface, bring it up and speak it out loud. Be honest. Take that weight off your shoulders. Relieve yourself from holding on to this. Your strength right now is how you get through this obstacle. Wow. Pile number 2. That was absolutely beautiful. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to your weaknesses, which is Tiger Angel. And we have Psychic Development. So I kind of just want to talk about the psychic development first, and then I'll move on to the Tiger Angel. For a lot of you, you struggle with psychic predictions, okay? So you struggle to develop your psychic gifts. A lot of the time you're faced with choices and decisions, especially when it comes to relationships and friendships, or when it comes to situations ending or closing off. You struggle to see beyond the situation and to see where you'll end up, to know that you'll be okay and safe and that everything will work out in your favor. That it may be a struggle just temporarily, however, it will be okay. And this is something that you may struggle with, and that you need to learn how to just trust. That you don't need to peek into the future when you're facing a hard decision, that you don't need to know what your future holds. Instead, you just need to trust that it will work out in your favor. That you do not need to force yourself to come up with scenarios and situations to make it work out how you want it, but instead to let go and just go with the flow of life, and to trust that whatever is going to be is meant to happen and is meant to be. The universe needs you. It needs your strength, your guiding hand, your devotion, your goodness and your protection. There are people, ideas, hopes that need your encouragement, your optimism and your nurturing. You have helpful healing power in you. Be confident enough to be gentle, and your inner power shall uplift and protect many in this world. Keep them safe and inspiring them to trust and love. So pile number 2, for some of you, you may struggle to understand your place in the world and to trust and believe in love, and that love will be there for you, that it may not be with this particular person or those types of people, that you may not belong within the groups, or you may belong for such a short period and then have to let them go because you've outgrown them or they've outgrown you. Whatever it may be, you need to learn how to be nurturing and how to be loving and kind and generous, and to know that everything is working out in your favor and how it's meant to be. There's a sense of lack of belief in yourself, or not trusting yourself, or not having faith in yourself, and this is something you're being encouraged and guided to work through, because it is a weakness of yours to doubt the world, and you'll be building on the self-confidence, knowing that you have complete healing powers within you, that you are divine and that you are sacred, and you're part of something that is so grand and big that just our human minds cannot even comprehend it. Well, pile number 2, what I'll be doing is I'll be drawing a surrender card for you guys now, and just see what the last messages from your spirit guides are. They just came flinging out, so let's do it. Surrender fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Wow, those were beautiful last minute messages. And guys, I truly hope that this reading gave you everything that you needed to know moving forward to help you get out of this little blockage, or to even push you towards decision makings. You guys are on the right track and you'll forever be okay. I just want you to know that. Continue dreaming, continue growing, continue being you. You are worthy of everything you desire in this life. You're worthy of love and abundance, and everything's going to be okay, and I just want you to know that. Have faith in yourself. You guys are so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and just thank you. This was an honor to do a reading for you all. Love and light. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your pick a card reading. Let's just get stuck into it. I'm going to start with your obstacles and your challenges, and then we're going to talk about your strengths and your weaknesses. Other way around? No. Cool. Let me just quickly get it set up for you. Awesome. So we have awakening, a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness, charitable actions. And Queen of Fire. Fire. Wow. Brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There is nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. Okay, so for a lot of you, you're balancing between your personal life and your career goals aren't actually where you need it to be. For some of you, this may be because you're spending over your means or working yourself to the bone. For some of you, you may be prioritizing home more than work, or you may be prioritizing work more than home. Whatever this may be, with the Queen of Wands, you can create any life that you have for yourself. You can create it because you are so independent. You are so magical. You're somebody who can dance around and just go with the flow of life, and you're fiery, you're passionate. But there is absolutely nothing that you can't do, and you know this. However, for some of you, you take this and you run with it, and you may go over the top with it. So you may say to yourself, you know what, I can work 100 hours in 2 weeks. Yeah, let's do it. And then the following 2 weeks, you're so exhausted that you have to sleep a lot, that you push yourself to the bone because you know you can do it. However, you don't give yourself the time or the space to actually allow it to form or to come to you. You're someone who pushes and chases and you go right after it, and that is an amazing quality. However, for this particular pile, that's when you start meeting a lot of your challenges and you fall on your face because you keep pushing it and timing is just not right. With this fire energy, with it constantly burning, you don't have a lot of patience, and so you'll be working on this patience that you need in this upcoming month, okay? For some of you, you need to take a pause out and to actually take a complete rest while you're going through a spiritual awakening. Now, I know it's hard with your work and with family and a home, and there's so much on our plates these days that life is just chaotic and so busy. However, you do need to prioritize time where you can sit in silence, you can be still, and you can just be. That you don't need to do anything, and your mind doesn't have to start chasing to the next thing that it needs to do or start jumping across walls and barriers. And look at what just flew in, guys. Look at that. Make a wish. Wow. You guys do just need some time to float through life. That a lot of your goals and dreams, they're guaranteed. That I don't see much of an obstacle challenge other than you may get in your way a lot. So a lot of the challenges you face is because you kind of brought it upon yourself. I hope that makes sense for some of you. But yeah, take some time and go slow. Allow yourself to be slow for a moment. You may also need to grow and expand on yourself, where you can start seeing things from a different direction or a higher viewpoint, where you can actually see that some of your decisions you're making or how much you're rushing towards a goal can actually prevent you from getting there, and it may actually take you longer. So if you're someone who has a burst of energy and you decide to go for a 10-kilometer run only to fall on your face, if that makes sense, the following day, where you're so exhausted and tired that you didn't practice and warm up, that you just decided, you know what, I'm going to go for a 10-kilometer run, instead of practicing and going 1 kilometer, 2, 3, and working your way there. You saw the goal, you saw the idea, and you ran with it. For some of you, you'll also need to embrace your uniqueness a little bit more strongly. So there are some quirks about you, and there's some goals and dreams and aspirations that you have that are pretty out there, and it may not align with the normal goals and dreams that people tend to have. And this may be in the way that you want to live. So for some of you, you may just want to be a gypsy, free-loving, free-flowing. While for others, you may even want to explore a cultural way of living, or even just change your cultural, or even change your cultural identity altogether. There is something about you that is wanting to be explored and discovered and to grow, and you need the patience for this to happen. It can't happen overnight, and it's not going to happen to the way that you imagine it. It's going to be a slow build, long and steady type of race, not a quick sprint and then fall short near the end. So let's move on to your strengths, and then we'll go and do your weaknesses. So we have the good geisha. And we also have clarity. Okay, so a strength of yours is that you can take off any mask. You can paint yourself to be or look however you want. However, you stay true to you, no matter what you have on your face. So you may be someone who likes to use a lot of makeup. You may be someone who uses their hair to look different ways. Or you may even use clothing to mask yourself and your energy. But when necessary, you can take this off and you can just be your true self. That when you're around people that you're comfortable with, you're okay with taking off this mask. You can also see situations and people with extreme clarity. So you are safe to trust your intuition when it comes to certain people and places. You can see crystal clear. And a lot of the time your intuition may go ignored because you may feel like it's a coincidence, or you may feel like that you're overthinking things. However, this isn't true. You're actually seeing it right, and the way that you're feeling is correct in this sense. You're really good at moving and adjusting yourself. You're somebody who can easily change to suit the environment that they're in. So you can go from a full-blown party to then go to a quiet home and sit down and watch a movie, and not be that person who's still egging everyone on to drink and to carry the party on. I don't know why I'm using these random references and ideas, but this has been a consistent thing through all the past. These random examples keep coming to mind. You're extremely grounded within nature, and you can appreciate beautiful things like flowers and what nature has to offer, animals. You're very loving and secure. You're very open and honest, and you're really good at expressing yourself when you're comfortable. Sometimes you need to stand tall, and you can pull on that power, and you can make yourself grow and expand so that you feel empowered to speak up, while at other times someone else who has that same energy may make you feel shrunken, and you may shrink so that you can let them overpower you. There's a battle between this strength of yours, especially when it comes to difficult people or challenging people. That Gemini energy where they're a little bit two-faced, that's kind of what I'm sensing, where you can just change yourself in social situations and adjust yourself to whatever it is, where you can go from being extremely serious to cracking jokes, and that this is something you're really good at. However, when it comes to very overpowering personalities or people, when it comes to them, you may not, and you may get unnerved, and you may feel like you're a little bit out of your depth and all over the place, and a little bit overwhelmed as well. So just being aware of that. Now let's move on to your weaknesses. We have bright baby. And we also have spiritual awakening. Okay, so with these two cards, simple truths will help you most right now, okay? Complexity is the mind at work, whereas the heart sees with astounding accurate simplicity. Don't worry about the details, the hows and wheres and whys. Those answers will come in time. For now, all you need to do is get back to the basics of what is true, and for you, that means stepping into the light and allowing the spiritual awakening to happen and blossom with you. So unfortunately, with this weakness here, you struggle to go back to the basics. You struggle to go back to the core value of you and to just be you. So with the spiritual awakening and then just this basics, you struggle during spiritual awakenings, or even to allow it to happen, because you want it to be rapid and to have it change so quickly and in your timing. So instead of allowing to go with the flow and to have it at the time of your guides or at your own pace, your soul pace, not the one that you believe it should be. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But instead of having it at your way, on your time and your schedule, you're being asked to really step back and allow yourself to grow, to go back to the basics, to take off that mask. Whereas she's all dolled up here, this one here is completely naked and completely pure, and she is who she's meant to be without the mask and the glamour, and she's taking her time and going with the flow. She's like a child who's curious to explore, but also a little bit obedient. I know children aren't meant to be obedient, but that's, what we're kind of taught as kids. And she listens and she waits and she takes her time with things to explore and discover and to learn every angle that she needs to before she moves on. And with the spiritual awakening, you kind of tend to block this because it's not happening at your pace, and you prevent it from moving forward or unfolding because inconsistent with your schedule. So you may be on a roll and then boom, a spiritual awakening will come into your life and you block it out because it's impacting what you have set up socially and maybe impacting your career or your personal life, or it just doesn't suit you in that moment. So you turn away from it, and then this means that you revert back to what you had just learned. So you start the cycle again, and then you may feel like you're trapped in a cycle that's never ending because you don't allow it to undergo it to its full extent. Am I doing my words right? I feel like I'm not. What I'm trying to explain is that you start here and you go through all these lessons and challenges, and then here's the spiritual awakening that you overcome to get to the end, okay? So you overcome this little part here so that you can get to the full extent of your power that you'll be working towards. But what happens is when the spiritual awakening happens here, something's happening in your life that is too good to miss. So you block this off and you go, no, not right now. Don't want it in my life. Goodbye. So Spirit throws you back right here and starts you all over again. And this is the type of pattern that you get yourself into because it doesn't suit you. So recognizing that sometimes it's not about what you want, it's about what you need. And it's what your guides really feel is best for you. Wow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull from my Surrender deck. Just give that a little bit of a good shuffle. I'm just going to pull a couple cards from the Surrender deck for you guys and see what messages Spirit have for you. Okay, so I feel like there's a couple here. So pile number 3, got that one, and we got those 2. I think we've actually got 5, but let's just go with it. Oh, we've actually got 6. So we have surrender to non-action. Wow, guys, what have I been saying? This whole passion thing, wow. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power and let others come to you. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Let your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Surrender to silence. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. Some of you may have just disregarded a lot of my messages, and then if you had skipped forward to this, you may have just Spirit have just gone, no, you really need to take on board these messages. So let's just repeat ourselves. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Life doesn't always have to be busy and hectic and all over the place. Life doesn't have to be crazy. And with your passionate sense, with everything that you see yourself and the direction you want to go, sometimes silence and peace and actually just allowing yourself to go with the flow is best for you guys. So pile number 3, with your passion and the fire that you have within you, you are really being reminded that sometimes you get in your own way, and sometimes that the challenges you face and how you get upset is actually caused by you. And I know that's a really hard pill to swallow. I know it is for me as well. But really knowing and being aware of yourself so that you can change and adjust in the future down the track is actually really beneficial. And this lesson's actually really good to learn. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. And then surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Wow, I think these are such beautiful messages, and I really hope that it's given you absolutely everything that you needed to know today. Please let me know how you felt about it down in comments below, and thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Love and light. Bye. Hi pile number 4, and welcome to your pick a card reading today. I'm just going to quickly go ahead and set up your reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with your challenges and your obstacles, and then we're going to move on to your weaknesses and your strengths. Awesome. So what we have here is 10 of Wands, working too hard or too many hours, the need for balance in life, let others help you, health problems due to stress. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, guys. So if you're chosen pile number 4, you're doing too much, you're taking on too much, you're filling up your basket when your basket is completely empty and broken at the bottom. Okay, so you keep stuffing things on top of your shoulders, adding to your list, adding to your responsibilities, and you may feel extremely overwhelmed, tired and sore. You may need a break, or you may have gone through a period just recently where you had a lot of sicknesses, a lot of illnesses, feeling drained, feeling tired, and feeling like you need to take a break. You also may have been sleeping a lot more often and not going out or socializing just because you're so tired and you're completely drained. And you really do need to recognize that you may be doing it too much, that you may be overdoing it, sorry. It's time for you to recognize how others can help you and how accepting their help isn't a bad thing at all. Instead, it's just acknowledging that sometimes you're not supposed to do it all. You can't do it all. That's why we have a community. That's why we have family and friends and a sense of belonging. You do need to rely on others to take off the load and to share it around. Now, particularly for one or two of you, if you like your house cleaned a certain way, absolutely fine. However, maybe work on this to allow your partner or family to take care of the housework, even if it's not to your standards. It's still help. Okay, you do not need to have this expectation of high results or unrealistic standards, sorry. So instead, maybe work on yourself to accept that everything doesn't have to be at a high standard, and it doesn't have to stress you out and take up so much of your time. And then we have 5 of Cups, focusing on the negative, things not turning out the way you anticipated, forgiveness of self or others, everything happens for a reason, look for the hidden blessings. Wow. So out of all the piles, your first 2 cards have actually explained your blockages very clear. Excuse me. Your first 2 cards have completely explained your blockages to a T. So you may be caught up in so much emotions, being so tired and irritated and feeling like you're stretched thin, that you're bubbling with all this overwhelming feelings because you haven't given yourself the time or the rest or the break to start processing it. You haven't offloaded some of the work so that you're not so stressed out and feeling like you have to do it all, and that you've got this pressure and responsibility on your shoulders and this expectation to be able to keep up with it all. And when you're so overwhelmed and you're doing so much work and you've got yourself stretched so wildly across a home and work and family, and you've got this all under your wings, that's when things start to go wrong for you, and that's where things aren't actually going your way, because you come across challenges because you're tired. And when you're tired, you can't do everything so perfectly. You do need to learn how to forgive yourself and others, especially others. And if it is the example that I used about the house, if it's not up to your standards, you may need to forgive yourself for having those standards, or you may need to forgive them for not reaching those standards of expectations, and instead understanding that it's okay for both of you to have these different feelings on how the house should be cleaned, or to what standard it should be. You're being asked to process some of your emotions that have been buried a little bit down, and that's and that for some of you, you've buried yourself under these responsibilities because you want to avoid facing these emotions and these situations or memories. For some of you, you're ignoring a feeling or a decision that you know needs to be made. You're pretending that it's not there and instead just focusing on work and the house and family. When you're doing this, you're not allowing yourself to move forward, and instead you're causing yourself to be stuck and to feel like you're trapped and to feel like you've got no way out, or that you're afraid and that you don't have control. Control is an illusion, and I just wanted to add that. Understand that everything happens for a reason, and whatever you're avoiding or not facing or pretending isn't there, it is going to bubble to the surface in ways that you can't help it. So this is in frustration. This is when you're tired and you snap at others, or this is when you start falling all over the place because you can't keep up, or when you're so tired and exhausted you fall asleep at the dinner table. These type of situations, it is going to come out in another area of your life if you continue to ignore it. Wow, okay. So let's move on to your strengths, and then we'll move on to your weaknesses. Out of darkness. Okay. Now this is, I don't know if you saw me hesitate. I don't know if I have added this in the edited on what card went where. But that makes so much sense. And then truth. So this is your strengths. And out of the darkness, it may not make sense to you, but hold up, let me just explain. You can go through traumatic events, grief, heartache, breakups. You can have your whole world crashing down around you, and however, you still look for the light. You still find a positive. You find whatever it is in a desperation need to hang on and have faith. And this is a strength of yours, one that you should honor, one that you should be loud and proud about. It deserves so much respect. You deserve respect for how you can go through so much pain, so much anguish, that you can experience so much trauma in your life and you can still find happiness, that you can still carry on like nothing's wrong in your world, that you can still show up at the end of the day and with a smile on your face and be joyful, that you can be this type of role model to your children, if you have children, or even to your friends and your family, your loved ones. They admire this about you, that no matter what is thrown your way or whatever you go through, this is yours. This is your strength. This is your skill. This is all for you. That you can rely on this during the hardships and the trials, that you know in your heart that it will be all okay. Because that is what you were born with. This is the gift you were given when you were born. To know that through whatever darkest times you go through, there will always be the light. There will always be something positive. You will find it. You will seek it out because it's in your nature to survive. It's in your nature to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep doing and being you. And you will never allow someone to hurt you so significantly that they take this from you, that they are able to put a darkness on your entire life. You won't allow it, pile number 4. And you can speak your truth. You can balance the truth. You are the truth. You can be honest with yourself. Even if you try and ignore it and you don't want to face it, you are honest and you're aware. No matter what, you're always aware. If you're falling out of love with someone, you know. If you're falling in love with a friend, you know. When you know it's time to leave a job, you already feel it in your soul. You can't deny it. When you've outgrown a situation or environment, you know. And this is a skill and strength of yours, one that you should honor, one that you should be proud of, because a lot of people, they struggle understanding how it is that they feel, the direction they want to go in. They struggle with honesty, especially honesty with themselves. So own this, utilize it. It will help you through some of the darkest days. It will also help you face the situation that you are and the decisions that you're coming up against. The opportunities that you are facing as well, these are going to bring a lot of light and abundance into your world. It's going to spark a passion. It's going to spark a fire. You're going to start creating again. You're going to start being happy, genuinely happy, where you're able to take the time to enjoy your family and be present in the moment, and when you're not rushing around making, I feel like a lot of you have children. If you've chosen this path, I don't know why, but I just feel like a lot of you have children or are very family orientated, because this is surrounding family and always doing it and being there and showing up for family, and that you take your love and loyalty for your family to the grave. And that is something beautiful and something to be admired and something to be talked about and shared as well. You should be proud of that, because that's such an amazing quality that a lot of people lack. So let's move on to your weaknesses. We have Silver Siren. And we also have self-mastery. Well, yeah. I just want to talk about this card for a bit. You may pile so much on top of you, and you may always want to do things for others and just be constantly busy, because you don't want to take the time to actually focus on yourself and your issues, and that you don't want to heal yourself. You want to avoid it. But by avoiding that, you're not being honest with yourself and you're not moving forward. You're just remaining stuck, and you're trapped in the cycle of fear, and you're just not moving. And this can cause a lot of frustration. A lot of the time, you're not fully aligned. Like, although you may do a lot and you may feel like you're on top of things, it spills out in your emotions or your communication, the way you react, whether you're social or you decide to be a hermit for quite a while. This shows in other areas of your life. And self-mastery is your weakness, where you focus so much on others and the situations, and that your life is always go, 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 and that you have to learn and adjust so quickly that you forget yourself, that you forget you need time and space, that you need to meditate and sit in silence, that you need to take care of your body, eat healthy and exercise, that sometimes you put you last. And this is unfortunately a weakness of yours, because when you're putting yourself last and not taking care of yourself, how in the hell are you going to take care of others to the fullest extent that they need you? Now with Silver Siren, although you can be honest, and you can be honest with yourself, and you speak the truth as well, and you're aware of how you feel and the things that you know isn't working out for you, although in your heart you know something's not right and it's not working anymore, with Silver Siren, your weakness is you cover that, you mask that, you'll do whatever it is to make it go away. You'll pretend it's not there and it doesn't exist. And when you're doing this, you're not in alignment and you're not living to your highest good or your highest potential. You may be taking a detour from your path as well, because you're remaining stuck, or you're just off on your own adventure, only to eventually be pulled back to your path by acknowledging it's there and by making the changes and adjustments that you know are needed so that you can move forward. A lot of the time as well, when you're really sad and you're not coping, you do use masks, you do use makeup, or you make yourself glamorous looking, or you talk about what you have. You may rely on your possessions, whatever it is. You'll use anything around you in your environment or on your body to make it look like to others that you are okay, even though deep down you know you're not. So see past this illusion and see that this behavior isn't actually benefiting you, and that people are actually looking at you like you're okay, that you're fine. They're not hearing you because they're not seeing these vulnerable times, and they're not seeing you at your weakest moments, or the moments where you need to call out and ask for help. They don't see that, so they think you're okay, and you may get frustrated, or you may get grumpy at them because you just want to shake them and be like, I'm not okay, help me, come on, how isn't it obvious? But when you're masking yourself and you're not being honest, especially when people ask you if you're okay and you turn around and you say, yeah, I'm fine, that's not being honest. So how are they meant to know if you're not telling them, if you're not showing them, if you're not letting them see the vulnerable, if you're not letting them see the vulnerable side of you? How do you expect them to know if you always present yourself a certain way that you can take it all? Be honest with yourself and make the changes and the adjustments that are needed right now. You can come out of this darkness, believe in yourself, have faith. You will do it and everything will be okay. Wow. So what I'm going to do now to end this off is I'm just going to draw a couple cards from my surrender deck and just see what extra messages that Spirit might have for you guys. So we have this card. Oh wow, that's a powerful one. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Sorry, wow, I just did a blank. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing, and this is including you. And isn't it funny that both of my decks where it's dark background with silver is a man and a woman? So this may actually be talking about your relationships or your relationship with others. This could be friendship, romantic, it could be absolutely anything. It could also be family, but you cannot fix them. So please be aware that if this is talking about a relationship and the relationship isn't working right now, you need to get the other person to understand you're not coping and that it needs to grow with you, that it needs to change or things need to adjust themselves for the relationship to continue and for you to be happy and to feel as if you're living. And then we have surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Wow, guys, those were some beautiful messages to end this reading off. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that this reading gave you all the messages that you need. And absolutely, I'm sending you all the love. You can get through this. You guys are wonderful, you're beautiful, and you're unique. So own it. I really, really, truly hope for my pile number 4s that this helped you guys and gave you messages that you needed to hear today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Love and light. Bye.